Sit back, let's unpack. It's MMA Shack. I know you guys saw UFC 325 news, the worst main event of all time. We got Volk fighting Diego Lopez. This is just a sad reality. This should not be happening. Volk just beat Diego Lopez. He 49-46 him. And now he's going to have another Volk 2. It makes zero sense. Dana White does not know what he's doing. Matchmakers don't know what he's doing. But you know what? I know what I'm doing. And today I'm going to show you how to build a correct UFC 325 card, our expectations, what it should be, versus the reality, what they're going to give us. I want to show you two cards, the one I built and the one that UFC is going to be building. I built that one too. It's going to be sad, disappointing. Let's get into it. 325, this is the expectations, what we should be seeing. Main event, as you can see the poster, we got the Angustia, I think that's how you pronounced it, Towers, and the City of Down Under, Volk versus Mozart. This is the fight to make. This is the number one contender versus the champion. Bring back champions versus number one contenders. We got Paddy Pimblett fighting Justin Gaethje. Number 4 and number 5 are fighting for the interim title in lightweight division. Arman said he's ready for January. Makes no sense. Why is the number one contender not ready? Ilya is ducking Arman. He said it many times in many interviews that he's not going to fight Arman. UFC said, okay, you know what? Well, go with your wishes. We're going to give it to Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. You defend the winner, and then we'll give you Islam probably. That's how it's going to go. They're trying to save Ilya, try to save that money, fight Islam versus Ilya. That's what they're going to do. They might even make it Islam versus Ilya, Abu Dhabi, big card. They're all both close to the region. It would be a great fight to have, but deserved? No. Co-main event of the evening. I know that Ali Abdulaziz, he's saying that Kamaru Usman's he's next for the title. No, we have to stop that. He's not next. He's number 8. We do not want him next for the title. Okay, I think there's two names that should quickly slip into this co-main event and try to get their name for Islam to be next. I know Gary is the number one contender right now for Islam, and he should be fighting him next, depending on the timeline, but also depending on the winner of this fight. I think it should be Shavkat versus Prates. Both are strong, both are durable. It could be Shavkat, even Morales. But I feel like Prates will be the one that's ready to take the fight sooner than Gary and Morales. I feel like he knows that Gary will jump him if he doesn't take a fight. But him fighting Shavkat and him beating Shavkat, he will jump. He has the potential to jump Gary. So this would be a huge win for Prates. Also a huge win for Shavkat to get back into contention, back in line to fight for the title eventually in the end of this year or middle of this year after the Gary fight. If that does happen, if they haven't even have Gary versus Islam yet confirmed and Prates knocks out Shavkat, Prates is going to be next. They're going to make him next. Morales, he could fight for Shavkat as well. I feel like Shavkat should fight Morales or Prates. Get the just so you could get your name, in contention for the title. Since it's not made yet, they're still looking at names. Usman, no one wants that fight yet. Usman should fight Bilal. Let's get Prates and Shavkat in there so you guys could jump Usman. I don't know why we're even trying to jump him. He shouldn't even be in talks, but Ali's doing his thing as a great manager, honestly. He got Justin Gaethje a title shot, and now he's going to get Kamaru Usman. It's pretty good. I know he just signed Movsar, so he should be getting a title shot soon with his history. So we'll see with that. Feature fight, I would say Carlos Ulberg versus Azamat. Huge. It'll be a huge fight. Azamat's in a huge great win streak, knocking out all his opponents. Carlos Ulberg, huge title contender. ready to be, to fight for the title. But Tom Aspinall's out right now with the injury. Cyril gone. He's going to be next. They need another basically an interim. This could be a great interim. They need someone to fight, you know, for the title next. This could be potentially uh that. Oh no, different division. What am I saying? Oh my god. Okay, I can't believe I butchered that so bad. Carlsberg and Azmat, light heavyweight division. Apologies. They should be in line for the next shot with Alex Pereira. They should be jumping uh Yuri. It should not be Alex versus Yuri 3. It should not be Alex versus Yuri 3. That's gonna be terrible. That's gonna be a terrible fight. We don't want to watch an 0-3 fight. It's gonna be like Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway. It's just it doesn't need to happen. It's already. I felt like those Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway that was closer than Yuri versus Alex Pereira. Alex put him out twice. We don't want to watch that for the third time. We need someone new, someone different. I feel like the winner for Carlos Ulberg and Azamat would be huge. Carlos Ulberg is oceanic, great featured fight under Volkanovski. This would be fun to have. Both powerhouses, both strong. They could both pull your lights out with one punch. I think this is the fight to make. Let's get to it. Next, Diego Lopez versus Leon Murphy. This was the fight that had to be made, not Diego Lopez versus Volk. Diego Lopez just lost to Volk. He needs to fight a contender. Mosvar beat Diego Lopez. Mosvar deserves to be in the fighting for the title. Mosvar should be fighting Leon Murphy. Leon Murphy, undefeated fighter, great win streak, knocked out Pico. Great fight. And I think this should be the fight to make. It shouldn't be Alexander Volkanovski. I feel like this is a no-brainer to have these two fight in the main card. Winner gets next title shot. And we go to the next. Costa versus Israel Adesanya. Great main card opener. Israel Adesanya is on a couple fight losing streak. I feel like Costa's trying to get back into title contention, trying to get his name back into the win column. I feel like this is a great fight to have. Let's get number two, the rematch going. This would be a good defining moment to see if Israel Adesanya could get back in the win column, or if Costa could get that loss back from Israel Adesanya. This would be a great main card to have right here. You got Alexander Volkanovski versus Movsar Evloev. You got Shavkat versus Prates, Carlos Ulberg versus Azamat, Diego Lopez versus Leon Murphy, and Costa versus Adesanya. This is a pay-per-view card. This is a great main card. This is a card that would sell a lot, but they're not doing pay-per-views anymore. So this is have subscriptions to Paramount, I would say. And the feature prelim fight is going to be no other than Robert Whitaker versus Shot the Bullet. I know you're thinking Shot the Bullet's not even ranked yet, but Robert Whitaker is on a big losing streak. He's losing a couple of his fights back to back, back to back. Loss against RDR, that's a bad loss to have. And I feel like if he wants to get back in the win column, a big name to have would be that's not ranked would be Shot the Bullet. That'd be a huge name to have on his resume as well. He's Shot Bullet's doing really well. He's off a big win, a huge war that he just had. I feel like this would be a fun fight that both fighters will have. I know Marvin Vittori's fighting already, so I know Shot Bullet and Marvin Vittori wanted to fight, but that fight's not going to happen. Let's do Robert Whitaker versus Shot the Bullet. This is a great fight to have. Both fighters want it. And I feel like the winner will be, stay in the rankings. Robert Whitaker would still stay in the rankings with a loss on this, but still a great fight to have. It could be an easy fight for Robert Whitaker to get back inside the win column, get his name back in there, and also a big name for Shot the Bullet to have under his resume as well. Both big fights, big featured fight. I feel like a lot of eyes will be on this fight as well. And I feel like this is the fight to make for Sydney. Next, Yusuf Zalal versus Aljo. We got to get this featherweight division moving. Okay, Yusuf Zalal is on a big fight win streak. Aljamain Sterling, strong, former champion, won his last fight, I believe. He's strong. I would say he's still highly ranked, higher than Yusuf Zalal. Great fight to have for both fighters. Get their Yusuf Zalal is a big name already. Aljo's a bigger name. This would be a big fight for both fighters to get their name in title contention after the winner of Diego Lopez versus Leon Murphy from this expectation card. And I feel like this would be fun to have for all the fighters to watch, to see where Aljo is standing and where is Yusuf Zalal standing, and to see if there are potentials on who could be next. Next, Buckley versus Renat. Buckley just lost against Usman. He needs to get his name back and win a contention. What's a bigger name than Renat that's not ranked yet? I feel like Renat would be a big addition to the welterweight division. He's on a big fight win streak. I feel like a big win over a ranked opponent, as in Buckley, will get his name out there in the top 10. And Buckley would, if he defends his rankings against Renat, I feel like this would be a huge name to have as well against the undefeated fighter in the UFC. So this would be a fun fight to have for both fighters as well as the fans. Next, Renato Moicano versus Killian Salkild. Great fight to have. Killian will come back, will come for the top 10 division of the lightweight. We get a big name, big prospect. Renato will be a great test for him to have in the top 10 rankings of the lightweight division. Fun fight to have. Both talk, both could go on the mic. Both will have a fun post-fight speech. Both will make nice edits. I feel like this is a great fight to have. Let's make it happen. Let's do this. This should be a no-brainer to have on the card. But I know the UFC is going to fumble it, as they always do. But this, I would say, all these fights are the prelims. We got Robert Whitaker versus Shah the Bullet. We got Aljo versus Yusuf Zalal. Buckley versus Renat. Renato versus Quillian Salkild. I feel like this is a great prelim to have for a pay-per-view event, or even just a numbered event now. Next, early prelim opener. Steve Erceg versus Ramazan Temirov. Steve Erceg is on a 3-fight losing skid. Okay, he does not deserve to be fighting in a top 5, top 10 division right now. Okay, he needs to defend his ranking from a UFC prospect. Ramazan's on a big win streak. He deserves it. Let's see if he could defend it against. Let's see if Steve Erceg could defend his ranking against Ramazan. If he does, perfect. Put him against someone in the top 10 division then. We'll let Steve Erceg do that, but I'll say he's on his 3-fight losing skid. It's time for him to defend his ranking from a prospect and from the unranked. And I feel like Ramazan will be a strong defense for him to have. Steve Erceg is still a good name. Ramazan is a great prospect right now in the UFC. Let's get it going. Next fight, I feel like I cooked with this next fight. Let's get the Woods in there, okay? We got Sean Woodson versus Nathaniel Wood. How has this fight not happened yet? How has this fight not happened? We got the Woods, okay? Let's see who's going to win, okay? Let's see whose wood is better than the other person's wood, okay? Let's see how this fight goes, okay? We got Nathaniel Wood, great prospect still, great, he's doing good in the UFC, and Sean Woodson, higher ranked, as doing just as well in the UFC. They both had a rocky couple fights, but they're still getting there. And I feel like this would be a fun fight to have. Both fighters want to get it. And put them on the Sydney card. I feel like I cook with this one. I feel like it would be a great fight to have in the featherweight division. We got to just get the featherweight division a little moving. I feel like it's super stagnant. We got to get a lot of these fighters get going, and what better event to put it under of the featherweight champion fight. Next, Hooper versus Tom Millen. Hooper needs to defend his ranking. He lost the last fight. Tom Lowen is a big prospect from the Oceanic division. So I would say Chase Hooper versus Tom Nolan is the fight to make right now. Tom Nolan, that'll be a big name for Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper, he needs to defend his ranking against a prospect, and I feel like this would be a great fight to have. And a good fight to for the opener of this card, no other than Tai Tuivasa versus Brando Persic. Brando is also fighting from the Oceanic. Tai Tuivasa is. I feel like Brando is on a 1-fight win streak. Tai Tuivasa is on a 4-fight losing streak, I believe, 4 or 5 fight losing streak. You know, if Tai Tuivasa loses this fight, he goes to the PFL. Brando wins this fight, he gets into the rankings. Tai Tuivasa wins this fight, he still should go to the PFL. God, I hate this dude. Does not deserve to be in the UFC. You're on a 4-fight losing streak. There needs to be a time when you get cut. UFC should be the biggest division where the best fighters fight the best, not like Sam Alvey just coming out here 2.0 over here, just, getting big range fights. Makes no sense. Shouldn't happen. Needs to defend his ranking or PFL you go. This is the full card of the expected of my expectations. That's what it should have been. That's what it should be. We got Mozart Evloev, Shavkat versus Carlos Pratas, Carlos Ulberg versus Azmat, Diego Lopez versus Leron Murphy, Costa versus Adesanya as the main card. Prelims, we got Whitaker versus Shara, Aljo versus Bilal, Buckley versus Renato versus Quillen for prelims. Early prelims, we got Steve Erceg versus Ramazan, Nathaniel Wood versus Sean Woodson, Chase Hooper versus Tom Nolan, and starting off the card, we got Tai Tuivasa defending his ranking against Brando Persic. This is the card to have. This is the card we want. This is the number of events that we deserve to watch. Now let's look at some bullshit where the UFC is going to do. I'm not even looking at it. Just copy and paste the same posters, same graphics as their first fight. It was only less than a year ago. Just copy it. Just Photoshop a 2 from it. That's all you need to do. We got Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. God, you can't keep getting away with it. Damn it, Dana White. So depressing. I know Dana White's going to be, you know what, Tai Tuivasa, great prospect. We need a shoey in the co-main event. Let's get Tai Tuivasa fighting Curtis Blades. Tai Tuivasa deserves it. Curtis Blades, he needs to defend his ranking. What better fight than have is Tai Tuivasa? This is going to say he's going to say some shit in like 240p in his jet, hyping up Tai Tuivasa to fight Curtis Blades as a co-main event. I already could see it coming. I won't be surprised. I'll see it. I'll be like, I knew it. I called it. Feature prelim and feature main card would be Leron Murphy. I'm already see. Look what this card's doing to me. Versus Pitbull. I already know what's gonna happen. He's like, okay, you already fought Pico. You're gonna fight Pitbull. You're gonna be just the Bellator gate. You know what? We don't need you right now. You're gonna be fighting Pitbull. You want to fight? Here you go. You Pitbull. You win. Don't matter. You're not next. Don't matter. Diego Lopez and Volkanovski 3. I'm calling it right now. July 3. Retirement fight. Gonna be close as hell. We got old man Volk 38. Gonna be like, okay, crutches and everything. Diego Lopez with a team haircut. Tonight. Wait, okay. I would say the middle minute card was gonna be Vieira versus Montag. Who? I don't know. I don't know who. I feel like this is what the matchmakers do. They just go on their rankings, scroll, pick 2 names. They're like, okay, those names. We don't know who, but they're fighting on that card. Next, Main card opener. It's gonna be Steve Erceg, but you know how they love Steve Erceg, and they always give him higher matchups. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be Amir Albazi. Bro, just gonna throw Amir Albazi in there. He's like, bro, let's get Steve back in the top five. Let's put him in there. Let's call it good. We need Steve back in the top five. We need to run Pantoja over Steve too. It needs to happen. They're just going to convince you that this is a fight to make. They're not going to sign Mokaev. They're like, no, we don't need a Mokaev. We don't need any other fighter. We just need Steve Erceg to fight for Pantoja 2 in May. That's what we need. That's what we want. I know Steve Erceg will be down. Just give him the game plan. He's fine getting beat up for another 25 minutes. We just pay him a couple $100. He's fine. Perfect. Prelim feature fight. Kobe Thickness versus Cam Simon. I know they're gonna throw this. But Kobe Thickness in there, like, look, Cam, you lose this fight, you're out of the UFC. Okay, you're out of the UFC. Kobe Thickness, you know, come here. I'm ready. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. I know they're gonna put some bullshit fight like this. And like the all like the people are like, oh my god, they're gonna eat this up. They're like, oh my god, this is a fight to watch. This is we're just getting garbage. Garbage, garbage, garbage. That's all we're getting. We're just getting fed slop. You know that one movie in what's that movie? Megamind? Is it Megamind? With the blue alien? No, no, that's not Megamind. God was like a monsters versus something or something like that. The blue alien is getting fed slop. That's what we're getting. This. And we're gonna eat it up like good little boys. Thank you, Dana White. Thank you for giving us this fight. I'm already triggered. I don't know if I could go on. Next, Quillen Sackhill versus Kyle Nelson. Who? Exactly. Instead of putting him in the top 10, throwing him his name out there, giving him a big name, you know, fight a nobody, pad your record up, get another win. You'll get another. You will get. We just need you to win on this and Sydney. That's all. We don't want to risk it. You just need to get a big win, another highlight reel, and who better than Kylan Nelson? I know Dana White's cooking with this. I know if he looks at this card and he looks at my card, he's gonna like this reality card better. This is gonna be the reality. This is the reality. Watch. He's like, yeah, this is what the matchmakers want. I'm gonna get sick from this. Next, we're gonna get Calvin Cater versus Aaron Pico. We need Aaron Pico back in the win column. We embarrassed him enough. Calvin, I think you're on the way out. But if Calvin wins this, it's even it's a win-win for the UFC. You know, if Calvin wins, or the most aged out prospect taking up Aaron Pico, UFC just a whole nother level than Bellator. Sorry, kid, you're going to the PFL. Congratulations, Pico. If he wins, perfect. He's supposed to win this fight. This would be a favorable matchup for him. And people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, let's eat this fight." This is a fight night. This should be on a fight night. This should not be on a main card. Main card, it should only be for ranked and high prospect fighters. It should not be for slop like Kobe Thickness, Cam Damon. Oh my god. Even especially Calvin Cater and Pico. I feel like this is what fight would be getting. I feel like we're expected to see these. Prelim opener. Chandler versus Alice Pereira. Who? I don't know. Matchmakers. Them two. Picked. Put in. Next. Dustin Schultz versus Malkoon. Who? Exactly. Picked. Nick Klein versus Robert Valentin. Who? Picked. These matchmakers, they're just scrolling on the rankings with their eyes closed, just picking random names. throwing them out there. Not even oceanic fighters, or not even good fighters. Probably, yeah, oceanic, yeah, they're, but not even like good names. Just like fight night, and they put it. Current events are all gonna be fight night cards. Oh my god, we can get 52 fight night cards. Christian Rodriguez or Jack Jenkins. Fight night. And to open the card, Dana White's gonna be cooking. He's gonna be like, you know what? We need a big opener. We need a strong opener. Eric Anders versus Cam Rawson. Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh my god, we cooked, guys. We cooked. Get ready. Get ready. Get your subscriptions ready. Renew that subscription because this is the card to watch. This is the card to watch. That's what he's gonna be doing. And a new billing cycle. Let's go. All the slop. Depression. Main card. I won't be surprised. It's going to be Diego Lopez versus Volk. That's already confirmed. We got Ty Tuivasa versus Curtis Blades. Makes no sense. Dana White makes sense to him. Watch. Leon Murphy versus Pitbull. Leroy wants to fight. Matchmakers don't know what the shit they're doing, so they're like, you know what? Pitbull. Cordy's girl again? What's her names? Vera versus Montag, yeah. And opener is going to be Street Perfect versus trying to get back in the top five on after losing a bunch of fights. My card is better. My card deserves to be what the UFC should be giving us in numbered events. Okay? Not the slop that they're looking at. Okay? This is what you are expected to pay $80 for if there was no subscription. This is what we deserve. This is what we need. Hit my lineup, Dana. I'll save this company. I'll make a whole video dedicated on what to do to save this company because PFL is going to outdo this company. PFL has better matchmaking than the UFC. Matchmakers, there's Eden scrolling on Tapology on the rankings. Them too. Go. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Now, if you watched all this far, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Whose card is better, mine or potentially the UFC's? If you pick the UFC, congratulations, I want to kill myself. If you pick mine, congratulations, I live another day. Let me know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you. Have a great one, guys.